Most people assume men only care about beauty or tradition when choosing a wife, but psychology tells a more complex story. What Indian men say they want in a life partner often reflects deeper fears, ambitions, and social pressures rather than simple preference. By the end of this, you will understand 6 traits many Indian men say they want in a wife, and more importantly, why they want them. We will look beyond the surface and explore the emotional drivers behind these expectations. When you understand the psychology, the patterns start to make sense. The first major preference is for a career-oriented woman. In surveys, a large percentage of Indian men say they want a wife who works and has professional ambition. On the surface, this sounds progressive and practical. Dual incomes reduce financial pressure, especially in urban India where living costs are rising rapidly. But there is also a psychological layer. When a man spends long hours at work, sometimes leaving home early and returning late, he may worry about his partner feeling isolated. A working partner is seen as independent, occupied, and socially engaged. Financial contribution also reduces the pressure on the man to be the sole provider, which can ease performance anxiety tied to traditional gender roles. Ask yourself this question: is the desire for a working wife only about equality, or is it also about security and shared responsibility? Often it is both. Men who feel economically stretched may see partnership as teamwork rather than dependency. The second preference is surprisingly specific. Many men say they want a wife who appreciates cricket, especially the IPL, and enjoys the sport for the game rather than focusing on the player's appearance. In India, cricket is not just entertainment, it's identity, culture, and emotional release. When a partner shares interest in something deeply personal, it strengthens bonding. The brain releases positive chemicals when shared experiences occur. Watching a match together and celebrating or debating builds connection. But when that interest is dismissed or mocked, it can feel like rejection of something meaningful. This is not really about cricket, it's about shared enthusiasm. It's about feeling understood in something that matters to you. Think about your own hobbies. How do you feel when someone genuinely takes interest versus when they roll their eyes? The third desire is for a woman who stays informed about current events and has opinions. Many men say they want a partner who watches the news and can participate in discussions about national and international issues. This reflects a need for intellectual compatibility. Conversations form the backbone of long-term relationships. Physical attraction may start the bond, but shared dialogue sustains it. When partners can discuss politics, social issues, or economic trends confidently, it creates mutual respect. Respect is a powerful predictor of long-term satisfaction. There's also a social element. In gatherings with friends or colleagues, a partner who can contribute thoughtfully to conversation enhances social status. It signals compatibility and sophistication. The desire here is not for expertise, but for engagement. Another interesting preference is avoiding marriage within the same workplace. Many men express discomfort with having a wife from the same organization. On the surface, it might seem convenient to share a workplace. However, competition and comparison can threaten self-esteem. In professional environments, promotions, raises, and recognition are public. If a wife advances faster or receives higher praise, some men may unconsciously feel challenged. The workplace becomes a comparison arena rather than a neutral ground. That comparison can slowly erode harmony at home. This reveals something important about ego and identity. Many men still tie self-worth to professional success. When that space overlaps with their partner's achievements, it can create internal conflict. The preference to avoid colleagues as life partners may reflect a desire to protect emotional balance. The fifth preference involves frustration with reality television. A large percentage of men report irritation when a partner is deeply absorbed in dramatic shows. At first glance, this seems trivial, but psychologically it touches on values and attention. Reality television often amplifies drama and emotional conflict. For some men, especially those who deal with stress at work, coming home to more drama feels exhausting. They may associate constant exposure to conflict-driven entertainment with unnecessary emotional intensity. There's also the issue of divided attention. If a partner prioritizes a show over conversation, it can feel like rejection. Humans are wired to seek attention from their closest bonds. When screens consistently win over real interaction, resentment builds quietly. Now consider the final and perhaps most common complaint: excessive phone usage. Many men say they feel irritated when their partner is constantly on her phone. This is not unique to India. It is a global relationship challenge. Phones compete for attention in ways that are subtle but powerful. When someone is physically present but mentally elsewhere, the brain registers partial disconnection. Even small interruptions during conversation reduce feelings of closeness. Over time, this pattern can weaken emotional intimacy. There's also a concern about oversharing. Some men worry that private relationship matters are discussed widely among friends. Whether justified or not, this fear connects to vulnerability. If a man feels exposed, he may withdraw emotionally. Let's pause and look at the bigger picture. These fifth preferences may seem specific, but they all connect to a few core themes: shared identity, respect, stability, and undivided attention. Indian men, like men everywhere, want to feel valued, understood, and secure. Notice something surprising. Very few of these desires are about physical appearance. They revolve around compatibility, emotional safety, and social harmony. That tells us something important about long-term partnership priorities. But here's a deeper question. Are these expectations flexible, or are they rigid demands shaped by cultural conditioning? Preferences often reflect personal experience, upbringing, and peer influence. They are not universal truths. For example, the desire for a career-oriented wife may reflect economic shifts in urban India. The avoidance of workplace partners may reflect competitive corporate culture. Irritation over phone use may reflect broader anxiety about digital distraction. Understanding these drivers helps us move beyond judgment. Instead of labeling these preferences as right or wrong, we can see them as reflections of changing social dynamics. Relationships evolve as society evolves. If you're a woman listening to this, consider which of these expectations align with your authentic self. Compatibility doesn't mean conformity. It means finding overlap between values and lifestyles. A strong partnership allows both individuals to retain identity while building shared meaning. If you're a man listening, reflect on whether your preferences come from personal desire or social pressure. Are you seeking a partner who truly complements you, or one who fits an ideal image shaped by peers and family? In the end, marriage is not about ticking boxes. It's about emotional alignment and mutual respect. The traits men say they want often point toward a deeper need for connection, stability, and shared purpose. When both partners understand the psychological needs behind expectations, conflict reduces and empathy increases. Instead of arguing over habits or hobbies, couples begin discussing values and boundaries. The real conversation is not about cricket, careers, or television. It's about feeling understood and prioritized. It's about building a life where both people feel secure and respected. Take a moment to reflect on your own expectations in relationships. Are they rooted in fear, pride, love, or practicality? Honest self-awareness is the first step toward healthier partnerships. If this perspective gave you new insight, share your thoughts and continue the conversation. Relationships become stronger when we understand the psychology behind what we ask for.